Hey everybody, you remember when I had Rick Gates on and he explained why he expected President Trump to pardon him from after the Robert Mueller probe? And there's a photograph from our meeting, and here's Rick talking about it right here.
I got to ask you, my friend, pardon. I know if the president offers a pardon, you'll take it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't?
Have you heard from him?
No, not heard. We're not actively engaged in that process, although I think it's absolutely warranted to all of us that were involved in the Mueller probe. I think it's an absolute tragedy what Mueller's prosecutors did to attempt to get to Donald Trump. They used us to try to get to him, and they failed. And I think, when they predetermined the conclusion without having the evidence and then tried to go look for the evidence, it was very telling. And obviously we know a lot more today than we did, 3 years ago. And now with the advent of classified material being declassified and other information coming out, it clearly shows, an instance where that's, been very problematic.
That might be the president.
What's that?
That might be the president.
No, I don't think so. Hold on, sorry, 1 second.
Sure. Back to the question regarding what you would do, and if you didn't get a pardon.
Look, really quick, I hope he does it. I think it's warranted, but it's obviously his decision, and I think he'll make, the best decision for all of us. And he knows the sacrifices that we made. He knows the pains that we went through, simply being, part of his team and part of his orbit. There's nobody that understands how much he's been attacked, by, forces within government, individuals, bad apples, than him. So I think it's very important that, people see this and that, he looks at it holistically. And look, people said he's done a bunch of pardons. Barack Obama gave 212 pardons and 1,700 clemencies. So, and obviously past presidents have done the same. And I think the president's absolutely warranted in this case. And frankly, given everything that we've been through in the Mueller investigation, which turned up nothing, has been, the real problem.
So that's what he said. That was December 1st. The White House issued its latest list of pardons that were granted, including for the person that hired Rick Gates to help in the 2016 campaign, Paul Manafort. Today, the 23rd of December, President Trump has issued a full and complete pardon to Paul Manafort, stemming from convictions prosecuted in the course of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, which was premised on the Russian collusion hoax. Mr. Manafort has already spent 2 years in prison, including a stretch of time in solitary confinement, treatment worse than what many of the most violent criminals receive. As a result of blatant prosecutorial overreach, Mr. Manafort has endured years of unfair treatment and is one of the most prominent victims of what has been revealed to be perhaps the greatest witch hunt in American history. As Mr. Manafort's trial observed, prior to the special counsel's investigation, Mr. Manafort had led an, quote, otherwise blameless life. Since May, Mr. Manafort has been released to home confinement as a result of COVID-19 concerns, and then Roger Stone. And today, President Trump granted a full and unconditional pardon to Roger Stone Jr. President Trump had previously commuted Mr. Stone's sentence in July of this year. Mr. Stone is a 68-year-old man with numerous medical conditions. Due to prosecutorial misconduct by special counsel Robert Mueller's team, Mr. Stone was treated very unfairly. He was subjected to a pre-dawn raid of his home, which the media conveniently captured on camera. Mr. Stone also faced potential political bias at his jury trial. Pardoning him will help right the injustices he faced at the hands of the Mueller investigation. And then, of course, there are others like Mark Shapiro and Irving Stitsky. And that ends the list. But as you can see, going up the list, there is no mention of the man who worked for Paul Manafort, Rick Gates. And that is too bad, to say the least, because Rick was quite literally dragged into this by Paul Manafort, even though, no, he didn't have to be submitted to the punishment that Manafort did in terms of unjustly prison term. And not only that, too, folks, as I'm reporting this in my video, I have to just, candidly say that while I don't agree with what they did, what was done to Paul Manafort was the kind of punishment normally reserved for violent criminals. That is a fact. So anyway, let's see what happens. Let's see if the president pardons Rick Gates. Subscribe to Zennie62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com.